for our glow up today on Studio 10. And whether you want a fresh start, a touch-up, or even advice on where to begin your road to confidence, it all starts with a conversation, especially at Cosmetic Skin and Laser Center. So guess who's starting that conversation right now? Nicole, how's it going over there?
It's going really, really, really well. Obviously, I'm sitting down with Dr. Lowe, who I kind of introduced you to at the beginning of the show. And it's really, yes, we want to start off with conversation because there's so many treatments that can be done here. And, you know, it ranges from facials to injectables, but also kind of skin rejuvenation. But today, our focus and our conversation is on the bioidentical replacement therapy, hormone therapy.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about what that is, because obviously it's a mouthful.
Yeah, right. Subject near and dear to my heart, but what I spend most of my time talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying earlier, inside and outside. That's what Cosmetic Skin and Laser Center and RegenCen are about, inside and outside. Now, you mentioned a few outside things. Bioidentical hormones are inside, right? And I guess if I'm to put it succinctly, the great new news about bioidentical hormones is that pretty much everybody in the medical community is now in agreement that for both men and women, hormone replacement is really healthy, and it does reduce a lot of risks, and it makes people feel better. It gets rid of a lot of diseases or minimizes the risk of diseases. And this used to be controversial, but now, whether it's women or men, pretty much everybody agrees that these more youthful levels of our hormones are healthier and better for us. And both men and women, the hormone levels decline as time goes on. Men, it's kind of like a stepwise thing. And I think women are under the misimpression that it all happens right around menopause, or it is menopause. Not true.
Okay.
Women's hormone levels, at least 2 out of the 3 start declining in their late 20s, early 30s, and they start doing the step down thing kind of like men, and they can feel that. Women can feel that. Women are more complex because they have 3 different hormones. They have progesterone, testosterone, estrogen. Men only have the one. But in all of us, those levels start declining at a very young age, in our late 20s or early 30s. And I think that's the big new news that, hey, this is happening earlier, and you might be feeling some of these symptoms in your 30s or 40s that you thought, oh, I thought I was going to feel that in my 50s or something like that.
They thought they were going to have time. So it's good to know.
Exactly.
So obviously there is a lot of research that goes into this, and so that is one of the more exciting or interesting findings that you guys are seeing.
Right. Very, very important to start relying on these newer studies that have come out in the past 6, 8 years, rather than looking at stuff that's 20 years ago that's been debunked. So yeah, I think the new stuff is showing what everybody has always felt in my field, that keeping those levels at a reasonable, like 30-year-old margin, 30-year-old level, that's the healthiest for us. That's what's going to keep us fittest, extend our health span, extend our lifespan probably, and make us feel a lot better.
Yeah, and you said feel a lot better. So talk a little bit about how hormone change can impact your day-to-day life.
Yeah. I think both men and women, when our hormone levels are lower, which again can happen in the 30s, fatigue is number one, sleep disturbance, and a general lack of enthusiasm. These are hard things to put in a study. Medical studies like to have hard numbers like what's your blood pressure, what's your body mass index, what's your fat quantity, all these numerical things. But people actually feel kind of lousy, kind of apathetic, blah, when their hormone levels are down. And this can translate into a lot of negative things in our lives, our relationships, our careers. You know, a lot of women perimenopausally will actually take a career dip because they just don't feel like they can bring it like they used to. And so these kinds of things have a real effect on our lives, a negative effect. And we don't have to put up with it. When we feel stuff like that, we shouldn't think, oh, maybe I don't like my job, or maybe I don't like my kids, or maybe I don't like, something. Maybe it's something on the inside. Maybe we should check that first.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what we'll continue this conversation throughout the hour, to see what our options are and how this can impact you, both women and men. So definitely stick around for that. But thank you so much. And we're going to send it back into the studio.